Ms. Andrews, you claim that a restaurant recently when Mr. Glenn approached you out of the blue and raised his pant leg to reveal it of your name on his leg.
Prepare to have your minds blown, folks. So one day out of the blue, Mr. Glenn randomly walks up to Ms. Donna in a restaurant and presents his leg as evidence. His leg, everyone. He raises his pant leg to reveal a tattoo of her name and expects her to believe he is her long-lost father. What a move. You cannot make this stuff up. Top-tier absurdity.
My logical father was in my, I've never known of Mr. Glenn. I don't know him.
You never knew Mr. Glenn?
I knew, but I did not know him enough to say, hey, you're mine.
This is Mr. Roger Andrews, the man who actually raised her, the man she knew as her father, whose picture she is holding right now. But Mr. Glenn over here, the man with the leg tattoo, believes a piece of inked skin is going to erase a lifetime of memories and love. This is already a masterclass in delusion. Make it make sense.
I was going to a beautiful restaurant to have something to eat and run into him. To me that I was his daughter, and he showed me the tattoo on his leg, father.
Whoa, the raw emotion here is staggering. Imagine trying to enjoy a meal and a stranger approaches with this life-altering bombshell, and his grand proof is some ink on his skin. She is completely blindsided by this, and honestly, who wouldn't be? The audacity is just off the charts. This poor woman's world is being turned completely upside down in public. What a guy.
Started dating in 76, and then I left for about 8 months. When I left and I came back, Donna was born. She was about something like about 2 old.
With Ms. Andrews' mother.
Right.
Mr. Glenn tells an interesting tale. He says he was in a relationship, but had to leave town for 8 months, came back and saw his girlfriend with a baby. He claims she kept him in the dark and never told him the baby was his. So he had to stay away because he had no confirmation, but still always knew in his heart the baby was his. Whoa, that's a lot to unpack.
Your father is dark complected, muscular built, and he's a very cocky. Now when this man approached me and told me, I'm thinking this guy's on this plane with me because I know, and it sure isn't that.
Hold on. A psychic on a plane told her that her real father was a dark-skinned, muscular, cocky man? And that description just happens to match Mr. Glenn? Are you kidding me right now? So we are bringing psychic readings into a court of law as supporting evidence? This is pure, unadulterated chaos.
You felt like Mr. Glenn were an outsider looking in, and you felt like she had a good family.
Yes.
She was growing up.
And went to
and everything right.
That's right.
Yes, Judge Lake. Say it louder for the people in the back. The man who raised her was there for everything. Graduations, life events, all of it. Meanwhile, Mr. Glenn was just an outsider looking in, thinking about her every day but doing absolutely nothing. He stayed away because her life was good? What kind of twisted logic is that? This is just peak foolishness.
Keep in mind that Donna and Yolanda, if he had thought that he was her father, okay, keep in mind my mother had to get pregnant again to have my baby sister. And so if he's her to be a father.
Here comes the sister, and she is not playing games. She is calling him out directly for his impeccable timing. Isn't it convenient that he only shows up now, after the man who was a real father to Donna has passed away? She is asking all the right questions, and he has no good answers. The family is united against this man's sudden appearance.
And then it's like a slap in the face to my stepfather who's passed on. Later, after he's died, why did he mention it when he was alive so we could, everybody's passed away?
The sister is doubling down, calling this whole situation a complete slap in the face to her stepfather, the man who was actually there, and she is 100% correct. The disrespect is unbelievable. For 30 years, this man, William, had the opportunity to be a father, and he chose not to. Now he wants to walk back in after all this time?
Miss Andrews,
I would not call you that. Like, okay, if it does come back that you are my father, don't expect me to call you dad.
I wouldn't look for you to call me dad.
Don't expect me to get emotionally wrapped up into you.
Wow, Donna is making her position crystal clear before the results are even read. She is telling him that even if he is biologically her father, he will never be her dad. The emotional line has been drawn. This is not about finding a new father for her. This is about getting a painful, confusing answer. The tension is absolutely through the roof.
Mr. Glenn, you are her father.
Oh my God.
Mr. Hoyer, after 14 years of being in foster care, you desperately searched for your father. Sadly, that search ended when you learned that your alleged father, Mr. James Horn, was tragically killed.
What a gut-wrenching start, people. This young man, Mr. Hoyer, endures 14 years in the foster care system, desperately searching for a father he has never known. He finally gets a lead, only to discover the man is tragically deceased. Now, the man's family is rejecting him completely. The stakes could not be higher. He isn't just looking for an answer, he is looking for a family.
My mom used to be a stripper. I feel that if I did know my biological father, my life would have been totally different.
And so you were told that Mr. Horn was one of the men that potentially could be your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
and the plot thickens immediately. Mr. Hoyer's mother was a stripper, and the first person to ever suggest this paternal connection was his mother's new boyfriend, not his mother, but her new partner, who just happened to see a resemblance. What a completely reliable and not at all suspicious source of life-altering information. This is already shaping up to be an absolute spectacle.
So this is a photo of the man you were told is your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you look at this picture, do you see yourself?
I do in some ways. I see myself through the smile and through the forehead and the eyebrows.
Miss Porter, all of this time, these years before your brother passed, he never mentioned having a child.
Never.
So apparently Ms. Porter says her brother never mentioned having a child even before he died. In fact, on his deathbed, he told his family that he'd never had any children, and Ms. Porter is taking her brother's deathbed assertion at face value. I mean, dying men are famous for telling the truth and having clear minds in their last moments. Way to go, Ms. Porter.
My parents, they never accepted biracial relationships, never. So we kept it a secret. We were really in love.
Had you planned to marry?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Seriously? A forbidden love? How dramatic. Ms. Gentry claims her own family's racism is why she never told Mr. Horn's family about their supposed relationship or the child. A secret so profound that apparently not a single person on his side of the family ever heard her name. This story sounds completely plausible and not at all like a convenient excuse.
The time we ever seen her was 2 weeks after the funeral. 2 weeks after my brother was put in the ground. This young lady came and knocked at my mother's door. She says, "I have your brother's child." I'm like,
Hold on, the story is changing again. Ms. Porter claims the mother showed up on their doorstep with the baby just 2 weeks after her brother's funeral to announce the big news. This is pure chaos. So, was it a top secret affair hidden from everyone, or was it a poorly timed public announcement? One of these narratives is completely fabricated, a masterclass in conflicting stories.
it's sad this young man got to hear what we got to say. But when she told him anything about my brother, it was awful. She told him he was a crackhead. She told him he was a drunk. She told him he wasn't no good.
Whoa! The accusations are just flying now. Ms. Porter claims the mother told her own son that his potential father was a crackhead and a drunk. Then she denies it, and the shouting erupts. This is not a courtroom, this is a three-ring circus, and these two are the main attractions. The absolute foolishness on display here is completely off the charts. This is truly peak absurdity.
Always be his mother.
You might always be the mother, but you're not a mama. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this is a lot on my chest. It's a story to tell that I want the world to know how this woman did his child right here when he could have been at our household. He could have been with us.
And there it is, the knockout punch. You may be the mother, but you're not a mama. That is a direct hit, people. Ms. Porter is not holding back one bit, unloading decades of frustration right in the middle of the courtroom. You can feel the raw history and the pain in that single brutal sentence. What a show-stopping moment of pure confrontation.
Now this first set of photos is Mr. Hoyer at 8 years old and a young picture of Mr. Horn. Do you see a resemblance?
Not in that one.
Do you see yourself at all?
I can see myself in the smile.
Okay, everyone, look at this. The side-by-side photo comparison. The resemblance is undeniable. Even Ms. Porter, who has been fighting this tooth and nail, can see it. The doubt is starting to creep in. This single picture might just change everything we thought we knew about this case. The plot is thickening right before our very eyes, folks.
Doctor comes and tells you you got to pull the plug on your child. You got to make a decision knowing that he don't have nothing left behind. Nothing. No kids, no nothing.
The emotion is just pouring out now. Ms. Porter is completely breaking down. After all that anger and denial, she's crying that she desperately wants him to be her nephew, to have a piece of her brother back. This is heart-wrenching. The stakes are now high for everyone in this room. What a tense, gut-punching moment to witness just before the judge finally reveals the truth.
That Mr. Horn is not likely your biological father.
Henderson, you claim that you believed Mr. Henderson was your biological father, but at the age of 15, Mr. Rycraw claimed he is your dad. You are doubtful and have opened today's case to get the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
For her entire life, Ms. Mercedes Henderson believed one man was her father. Then at 15, a completely different man shows up claiming the title. Now, everyone is here to sort out this absolute mess. This is not just a family tree, people. This is a whole twisted forest of confusion. The drama is wild.
When we met, I just felt it. I just felt that she was my daughter.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave.
So this man's entire claim is based on a feeling? He just felt she was his daughter. Is that how biology works? You just get a gut feeling and suddenly you're a dad? Kudos for confidence, I suppose. But this is a paternity court, not a psychic hotline. This is absolutely staggering. Truly. What a guy.
Ashley, when I talked to her, I told her, if it's a girl, it's ours. If it's the boy, you gotta go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did he just admit to giving his wife an ultimatum based on the baby's gender? If it's a girl, we keep it. If it's a boy, you have to leave. Are you kidding me right now? That is a level of unhinged logic I cannot comprehend. This man's reasoning is completely off the charts. What an absolutely wild thing to say out loud.
My sister, when it comes to telling the truth on certain things, they'll beat around the bush. And like she didn't answer him when she came back, she didn't tell her the truth either.
So the aunt, the architect of all this drama, is defending her decision to drop this bomb. She says her sister would beat around the bush and wouldn't tell the truth. Isn't that something? One sister hides the truth and the other decides to reveal it in the most chaotic way possible. This is a full-blown TV drama unfolding right before our eyes, not a family.
Tell the truth.
Because they both was in a relationship. They both was married. And then when my sister called and told me, and I said, it's not my place to tell.
And there she goes. The aunt says her sister was having an affair with a married man. So, we have a husband who suspects his wife, a wife who was cheating, and a lover who was also married. This is a 5-star, premium-grade mess. Everyone. It is a tangled web of cooked-up lies and secrets.
I was tired of just beating around the bush, not saying nothing about it. So I went on and told her, do you want to meet your daddy?
So you called her that day?
I called her that day.
And Miss
After
Henderson?
I asked him, did he want to meet his daughter? I called him, and he came to Revival, and I said, you want to meet?
Hold on, the aunt is the one who orchestrated this entire meeting? She just decided to call her niece and say, hey, come meet your real father. The audacity is incredible. She just blew up decades of family structure on a whim, creating pure chaos for everyone involved. This is not normal behavior.
Miss Henderson, the other man, the third man, the man your mother told you is your biological father. This court was able to get a hold of those test results.
What in the world is happening now? Judge Lake reveals the court got the results from a third man tested and the aunt hits the floor. A third man and the aunt just collapses. This is fast becoming weird. We need a paramedic for the drama because this situation has officially gone off the rails. You cannot make this kind of thing up, folks.
Do you believe she's your sister?
I don't. I just don't have that connection with her that I have with my other siblings. Can't say that she isn't my sister, but I just don't believe that she's my sister.
Now, LaToya Rycraw Banks, the other daughter, is here, and she says she does not believe Mercedes is her sister. She says she feels no connection to her whatsoever. Just when you thought this could not get any more complicated, they add another layer of doubt and family drama right before the results. You can almost hear how hard everyone's heart is beating. This is absolutely incredible.
Mr. Henderson, you are not the father. The next result, Mr. Rycraw, you are not the father.
Here we go, the moment of truth. Judge Lake has the results. Mr. Henderson, you are not the father. Okay, so it has to be Mr. Rycraw, right? Wrong. Mr. Rycraw, you are also not the father. Neither of them. A double negative. The devastation is real. This poor woman's entire world just crumbled. What a heartbreaking conclusion.
Miss Henderson, do you need to just sit down? You want to sit down, honey? Mr. Deggs, you are here today hoping you are the biological father of the defendant's 3-year-old son, Jason. You have petitioned the court for a paternity test because you claim your ex, Ms. Guerin, first led you to believe that you were Jason's dad.
Let's dive right in. This man is here hoping he is the father to Jason. He wants this. But wait, the mother of this child waits until the baby is 6 months old to casually mention, oh, by the way, you might not be the dad. 6 entire months of this man bonding with a child. The audacity is already at astronomical levels.
Truck loaded up with everything. And I went upstairs to grab my last box, and my best friend at the time pulled me aside and told me him and my brother had both slept with me.
Whoa! So, not only did Megan cheat on him, even his own best friend pulled him aside to confess? And the confession is that both the best friend and his brother slept with her? Are you kidding me? This is a full-blown three-ring circus of family destruction. What an absolute bombshell to drop on someone. My jaw is on the floor.
Beginning of our relationship. It was even before we were a month together.
Ms. Guerin,
when we first
boy,
met.
before you get to what he did, I want to know, is it true?
Yes, it is true. I do admit that I did do those things. I did cheat on him with his best friend.
And here it comes. I cheated because he cheated. Ms. Guerin says she cheated because Mr. Deggs cheated barely 1 month into their relationship. Well, folks, you know how the old saying goes, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. And in the case of Deggs versus Guerin, the blind played with nukes, and now everybody has to deal with it.
It's not because I'm a bad person. At the time, I was lacking affection from him. He was never home. He was always...
I work, Your Honor. I work full time to make sure that her nails and her hair get done.
Here we go, the semblance card. So her defense for her actions is that she was lacking affection because he was working to provide a life for them. The nerve of that excuse is staggering. Poor you. Your man was busy earning money to support you, so you had to find comfort elsewhere. Make it make sense, people. This is top-tier delusion on full display.
How did you end up with his brother, too?
His brother, I was really young at the time. And
You keep talking about how young you were. If you were so young, you shouldn't have been sleeping with everybody.
Let's just pause and appreciate the judge's face. The pure, unadulterated shock when he confirms it was his best friend and his brother. You can see the moment her brain has to reboot to process this level of treachery. This isn't just a simple case anymore, it's a tragedy playing out in real time. She's staring into the abyss of human foolishness. And frankly, so are we all.
Hey, he was hurt, Ms. Guerin?
I'm not the only one that...
I had a rough childhood.
I had to deal with so many different women.
But you're the one that's here with a paternity issue regarding the child in question.
Okay, this reaches peak insanity. Ms. Guerin claims the only reason she waited 6 months to confess was because she wanted the family united after sleeping with his brother and best friend. How does that compute? She purposefully deceived him for months, letting him connect with the child, then pulled this? This isn't wanting a family. This sounds more like manipulation 101. Wow.
The women that you
No,
love
you
to
love
go
your
hang out
free
with
time
more
and hanging
than
out
your
with this
son.
dude here because
No.
you left Jason for 3 months
Why?
with your
Because
mom
he
and
can
me so
provide
that I
better.
could take care of him.
Can you believe this? Now a new boyfriend, Christopher, enters the chat. And not only that, but Jason claims she left their son with her mother for 3 entire months so she could be with this new guy. 3 months. What kind of mother just abandons her child like that to start a new romance? The plot thickens, and it is a thick, murky, and deeply unsettling plot.
She texted him and was like, you better keep your job, honey, because all I want is your money.
I never,
and she
ever,
was,
ever,
it was bad.
said
And she
that.
was like, you know, all I want is your money. All you
I
need
made
to do
my
is go to
own money.
work.
Kudos to Dominique for showing up with the receipts. So, while Jason was trying to build a life with her, Megan was allegedly texting him things like, all I want is your money? Isn't that something? It paints a very clear picture, doesn't it? Suddenly her motives seem a lot less about lacking affection and a lot more about financial convenience. What a truly spectacular move from this woman.
I want to be in Jason's life. I love Jason.
That's why
with
he's
all my
called
heart
us
and
for the
soul.
last...
And if he is your son, are you willing to step up?
Yes, of
in every
course.
way?
In every way.
And if he's not?
If he's not, then it's going to be really hard for me.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
Here we are, the moment of truth. The judge has the results in her hand, and the tension is absolutely electric. Look at Jason's face. The man is praying, he is tormented, his entire world is hanging in the balance. And then look at Megan. Is that a smirk? The contrast is just wild. One person is hoping for a family, the other seems to be anticipating a victory.
Mr. Day, you are not the father. Ms. England, you say that you and Mr. Kaiser have been together for 6 years, have a 3-year-old son together, but claim he's now denying your 6-month-old son Isaac, and you're here to prove that he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, people, we are diving right in. Mrs. England says she took this man from ashy to classy. What a way to start. That is some top-tier pettiness, and we are barely 1 minute into the show. She claims she turned him into the man he is, and now he is not supporting their baby. The audacity is off the charts already. This is going to be a wild one.
Y'all, she knows why. She knows why I denied the baby. She stayed gone for 3 months with this other man.
Did you move in with another man,
Yes,
Miss
Your Honor.
England?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
So wait, you all in a relationship. I want to get the
Yes, ma'am.
background.
Did he just say she stayed with another man for 3 entire months? And she just admitted it, no hesitation whatsoever. What is happening? So, they were in a relationship, but she just took a 3-month vacation to live with some other guy? Make it make sense. The judge looks completely stunned. This is pure foolishness from the jump.
The man she was cheating on me with.
I was not cheating. I never wanted
She said, y'all, she said she wasn't cheating on me, right? But she had the other man's phone number long before she moved out.
Here we go with the semantics card. It was not cheating, she says, because they were separated. Seriously? She was supposedly reconciling with him while still seeing the other man, but it's not cheating? This is a masterclass in spinning your own web of lies. Kudos to her for the mental gymnastics, but nobody is buying that. He looks at her like she's a lying alien from Mars, as he should.
Your Honor, my sister passed away, and instead of this man right here taking care of me and hugging me and telling me everything would be okay, he started to fight and left.
But y'all,
He left. He wasn't there. The other man is the one who was texting my phone saying, "Are you okay?"
So now the story is that her sister passed away and he was not there for her, which is why she went to the other man for comfort. What a move. Is she actually looking for emotional support, or is she looking for something else? He says he was there for her. This is peak manipulation. Someone is not telling the whole story here.
Your Honor, on the 25th of March is the last time I had been sexual with the other man.
On the 25th of March,
Yes.
you were intimate with the other guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep going.
Okay.
The calendar of chaos. Get this. She was intimate with the other guy on March 25th, but got back with Mr. Kaiser on the 28th, and they were intimate for 5 straight days. 5. She has this timeline mapped out like a military operation. The level of detail is absolutely staggering. What is actually going through her mind to present this as solid proof? My mind is completely blown right now.
I did not have intercourse with that man anymore.
We slept together from the 28th until the 31st, right?
No,
she,
till the 1st.
She left on the 30th with the other guy.
And the plot thickens into a soup of mess. He just claimed she left again on April 3rd and went back to the other guy for 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? This timeline is more convoluted than a soap opera. So she was bouncing between these 2 men like a pinball. No wonder he is sitting here demanding a DNA test. This whole situation is just a dumpster fire of bad decisions.
He's also tongue-tied. Genetic trait. That baby looks like our 3-year-old child.
Okay.
Same trait.
Okay.
And you're referring to a medical condition.
Yes, ma'am.
She don't know if that guy's father.
That's not true, because
What if the other guy didn't have it?
Natal teeth. The baby was born with teeth and he is tongue-tied, just like someone in Mr. Kaiser's family. Is this her brilliant closing argument? Love magically determines biology now, does it? The judge is trying so hard to keep a straight face, but you can see the disbelief. This has to be one of the most absurd pieces of evidence ever presented in this courtroom.
Ron, could you please escort Dr. McLaurin into the courtroom? She is a doctor of medical dentistry.
To make sense of the back and forth, Judge Lake brings in an expert witness to either confirm or disprove Ms. England's claim that baby Isaac's natal teeth and tongue tie are genetic. I mean, on the surface, her argument that since Mr. Kisser is tongue-tied and his cousin had natal teeth, the child is his, is completely watertight. In comes the doctor of medical dentistry.
I want that to be my son, Your Honor. I do want it to be my son, but I just want to make sure it's my son. I want to make sure.
That's why you're here. That's
Right.
why you're here. And luckily, thank goodness, I have those results for you.
Here it is, folks, the moment of truth. The judge has the envelope and the tension is incredibly thick. Look at him. He is already breaking down in tears before the results are even read. He is completely convinced this is not his child. She looks like she is about to either explode or faint. This is what it all comes down to. The silence is deafening.
Mr. Kaiser, you are not the father.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kaiser.
You sure?
Mr. Wheat, you filed your case because you claim you've been robbed as a father. You are desperate to prove to the defendant that you fathered her 19-year-old daughter, Sierra Sloan.
Robbed of fatherhood? This is an incredible way to start. He feels he was the victim of a grand theft. He is so desperate to prove his paternity after a single night together nearly 2 decades ago. Is this a genuine cry for a lost connection? Or is he just looking to rewrite history? We are about to find out.
Because I was 19, I was young, dumb, and full of eggs, and I was doing me.
Young, dumb, and full of eggs and doing me. I don't think I've ever heard it explained like that.
Young, dumb, and full of eggs. That is a direct quote. You cannot make this up. She delivers this line with the confidence of a CEO presenting a quarterly report. This is a mission statement dressed up as an excuse. What a magnificent, unapologetic explanation for her behavior. And considering that she has paternity doubt for her own daughter, she isn't too far off the mark.
So how many guys were you with during the window of time your daughter was conceived?
4.
4 different guys, and Mr. Wheat is one of them.
Yes.
So can you tell the court, how is it you were with these guys?
Whoa, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 possible fathers? Are you kidding me? This woman was running a paternity lottery and everyone got a ticket. How does one even keep track of that? The logistics are absolutely staggering. This poor girl's family tree isn't a tree. It's a tangled web of confusion. Make it make sense, because right now I cannot.
And into labor?
She called me that day and told me, and I told her I'll come up there in a little bit, okay? Well, my family went up there. I called her back, said, hey, I'm on my way. She told me not to bother.
He was told, don't bother coming to the hospital. Seriously, imagine believing you might be the father, getting the call that she's in labor, and then being told to just stay home. That is cold. It's a calculated move to push him out of the picture entirely. What was her endgame here? To simply erase one of the potential candidates from the equation? This is pure pettiness.
Ryder testified that they went to go see Sierra in the nursery. What was their response?
Well, when they came back to my house, all of them said, congratulations, you're a dad. All right, well, I didn't believe them. Mom came in.
Mr. Wheat says he had doubts, but when she said she was in labor, he sent his family to be with her, and his mother came back home, asked him if he wanted to see his baby, and pulled out a picture of him as a baby. That's how much his mom said Sierra looked like him. The resemblance was uncanny almost, so he simply went with his mother's intuition. But intuition is one thing, and genetics is another.
Yes, Your Honor. Mac Grider did. And it's been on and off drama for 19 years.
Well, Mac Grider is here, and he believes he could be Sierra's father. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Grider into the courtroom?
Now a third man enters the arena. It is an absolute circus in here. Mr. Grider, the man on the birth certificate, now joins the chaos. The situation is so absurd that even Judge Lake appears to be losing her patience. This episode is an absolute clown show, and we have front row seats.
Yes, ma'am. I was there, went to the doctor appointment. I named her, I signed the birth certificate.
And Sierra, I see your face. This must be so confusing, honey.
So Mr. Grider claims he was there for doctor appointments and even named the baby Sierra. What a guy. Meanwhile, David was just a one-night encounter from a club. This completely changes the narrative. One man was building a life with her, while the other was just a memory. The odds are certainly not looking good for our original plaintiff, are they? This gets more complicated by the minute.
I think when I was 15, my mom said that I looked like David because apparently me and him have the freckle line. And then I would sit there and smile sometimes the way he did and lay down the way he did and everything.
The freckle line excuse is absurd. Her mother literally told her she resembled David because they share, of all things, freckles. That is the most creative, manipulative reasoning I have ever heard. She has been feeding her daughter these cooked up lies for years just to keep the confusion going. This poor young woman deserves so much better.
It would be nice if he was, or if Mac was still. I would like to get to know him better too.
And so, Mr. Grider, why do you feel emotional?
A lot. It's just a lot right now, going through all this.
This is the moment of truth. Look at the pain on Sierra's face. After 19 years of living in a state of uncertainty, she is finally about to get an answer. Both men are filled with hope and anxiety. One believes his mother's word, the other clings to a one-night possibility. The tension is palpable. Who will it be? This is what it all comes down to, folks.
Mr. Grider, you are not the father. Mr. Wheat, you are not the father.